welcome to a book tag. I don't often do book tags, but I think I'm going to do them a little bit more often going forward as I welcome more people to my community. I found this video on Adventures in Literature. I will tag his channel down below, and anyone is free to do this tag. It's a Christmas tag. It's the Christmas music tag. So let's get on with it. I think it'll be fun. Prompt number 1 is Joy to the World, a book that brings you so much joy you wish the whole world would read it. That was hard. That was a hard sell. But I've settled on a book that brings me joy, and it is this one. The complete original Grimm Tales. And if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you will know that I do original deep dives on the very sick, sadistic, horror-filled original fairy tales by these guys and by others. But this consistently brings me joy so that I can bring joy to you. Alright, prompt number 2. Let It Snow. A book that takes place in a snowy, cold environment. A book that takes place in a snowy, cold environment has to be The Shining. And I don't have the physical copy with me now because I lent it to my mother to read, you know, for her Christmas festive reading joy. So yeah, I would say The Shining by Stephen King for that one. Prompt number 3. You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. Oh. A book with a mean character or one that you just didn't like. There are so many. And some of them are the title characters that I just don't like. See, this is a hard one because it's usually the really mean characters that I actually do like, and it's the really nice ones that I don't get along with very well. So I'm going to go with, because I can't make my mind up because I usually like the mean characters, I'm going to go with our main female character, Tiffany Worthington in Hex and Hexability. I didn't like her. I couldn't stand to read her. She was whiny and just annoying. And yes, she is our main character. She is our only point of view as well, so which didn't help. But yeah, Tiffany Worthington in Hex and Hexability, I just didn't like her. Okay, next up is prompt number 4. Santa Claus is Coming to Town. A book releasing soon you can't wait to read. There are so many. Well, I will say, having read the sort of trailer book novella for the new Venomborn series coming out by Benjamin Averin, and the first book is coming out in 2025, that is what I can't wait to read, because I loved the Rainfallen trilogy. I was lucky enough to get them as ARCs, and I do have the physical copies as well because they were that good. I spent my money on them, and I can't wait for that first book to come out. Prompt number 5. 12 Days of Christmas. A book of short stories. A book of, I like books of short stories. I have a lot of books of short stories. But in keeping with the season, a book of short stories that I like is The Advent of Winter, put together by Don McDermott, and I will link his YouTube channel down below as well, because this is a very good one. It's got 24 short stories, one for each day of the December month leading up to Christmas Day, and they're all fantasy, they're all set in winter. I really liked it. And I would say, anybody, you need to read this thing. Prompt number 6, The Little Drummer Boy. A book that brings back childhood memories. Well, for that one, not exactly childhood memories, but younger memories would be Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I remember sitting in my room, my mother bought me book 1 to 4, and I read them all in a week. I couldn't put them down. Not these editions. Don't even get me started on these editions because they stopped before they got to the 7th and 8th one, and you can't get them. So, but yeah, I would say the Book of Childhood Memory. This brings back childhood memories of just sitting in my room, on the carpet, on the floor, just completely engrossed, finishing one and straight away picking up the other. Prompt number 7 is Deck the Halls, a book that has a party scene or takes place during a holiday. I don't read many Christmas books. I only started this year. I mean, technically I could say The Shining again for this, But we are going to go with Upon a Frosted Star by M.A. Kuznia, simply because the whole thing starts because of these winter extravaganza parties. And I have a full review video on that on my channel. I'll link that somewhere too. It's a take on the ballet Swan Lake. It's a good winter read. Prompt number 8. Frosty the Snowman, a book with a character who is cold or calculating. Oh, I know exactly which one. This one. This one. It's a little novella. It's The Exorcism of Frosty the Snowman by John Schwerger. Butchering it, I probably am. But this has Frosty being a demonic entity who survives on the souls of children and bloodthirsty chaos wherever he goes. For that, it's got to be this one. Optional bonus prompt. Ooh, we do like a little bonus. Do you have a fun memory or interesting holiday tradition that you would like to share? It does not have to be about Christmas, it can be about any holiday you like. An interesting holiday tradition. Well, it's not really a holiday tradition, and I'm sure this goes for any sort of house in the UK and probably beyond. But people do their food shop in December, stock the cupboards full, so that your parents would do the big food shop, stock the cupboards full, so you would go to get something to eat in the week running up to Christmas, and there would be tape across the shelves, or you would rustle something and a disembodied voice from another room would say, "What are you doing? Everything in there is for Christmas." It's like, I just want a packet. You can't eat the fancy crisps, they're for Christmas. You can't eat the buns, they're for Christmas. Because you have to starve until Christmas Day and then gorge yourself on food for the rest of the holiday. Don't touch that, it's for Christmas. Well, now it's gone into alcohol, so don't drink that, it's for Christmas. Don't drink that, it's for Christmas. That's for my Christmas cake, don't drink that. So not really a tradition, but I do think it's fun. Because even now, in my 30s, if I go to rustle a packet in the kitchen, don't have that, it's for Christmas. No word of a lie, our fridge has a shelf which is got a note taped to it saying, "This stuff is for Boxing Day, do not touch." So that is my fun holiday anecdote. And I'm sure many households are exactly the same. So I am going to tag a few channels in this. If I tag you and you have already done it, it's perfectly fine. I think this is my first video actually tagging people to do a book prompt. So if you've already done this, just ignore it. But anybody who's watching this video, you can consider yourself well tagged. Merry Christmas.